If you're ticked at the measly COLA increase and nervous about the solvency of Social Security, this is a video that you cannot afford to miss because we're going to walk you through a bill that could forever change Social Security, including how much you earn in benefits. Hi, and welcome back to Stop Being Sold. My name is Michelle, and I'm here with Brian. And in this video, we're covering the Social Security Expansion Act that's currently in both houses of Congress. And we're talking about what you can do to secure your financial future and the future of Social Security. And Brian, this bill is not new, but it's gaining momentum pretty quick.
Yeah, that's right. It was originally introduced back in June of 2022, and
Mhm.
then was reintroduced February of this year. But we're starting to see it slowly gain some traction here. And as the making of this video today, nearly 60 groups have endorsed the bill so far, and more representatives are now backing it.
Right.
So there's a lot of good provisions in this bill, and I would argue it's about time we get a bill like this for our seniors. Nearly 40% of retirees depend on these benefits for more than half of their monthly funds. But with the average Social Security check, roughly at $1,688 a month, the rising cost of living may be stretching their budget too thin.
That's an understatement. All
Yeah.
right. So let's go through the highlights of what the Social Security Expansion Act would do if it's passed.
Okay. First thing it's going to do is increase Social Security benefits. That's the big one, right?
Right.
This bill aims to increase the average monthly Social Security benefit by $200, which adds up to an extra $2,400 each year directly in your pocket. And it can help offset rising inflation for those of you on a fixed income.
Mhm.
Right now, more than 1 in 7 seniors rely on benefits for over 90% of their income.
Wow. I'm sorry to interrupt you. That
Staggering,
is a staggering statistic.
staggering number.
1 in 7 rely on benefits for over 90% of their income.
90%.
And
And,
what
and
and what did you say? The average check right now is $1,688 a month.
yeah, it doesn't make sense, right? And, nearly half of those over 55 have no retirement savings at all. So it's clear many could use this boost to stay financially secure as they near retirement, right?
Yeah.
The second thing it would do, and this is critical, is it would extend solvency of the Social Security Trust Fund. It
Important.
would now require high income earners to pay more into the system. It's going to lift the payroll tax cap on incomes over $250,000 and
Mhm.
subject all earnings, even those over $250,000, which is 7% of all taxpayers, to the 12.4% Social Security tax.
Hmm.
That's huge.
It is huge.
The third thing it would do is it would improve the COLA calculations by using the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, which is the CPI-E. This is the latest Consumer Price Index is showing currently that inflation increasing cost 9.1% over the last year.
Yeah.
But current COLA raises fail to match typical senior spending, which is heavily weighted towards healthcare.
Yeah.
This bill would improve how raises are calculated to truly offset rising expenses during retirement. So you can keep up with the ballooning price of prescriptions and your doctor visits, finally. But according to the Social Security Administration, without legislative changes,
Yeah.
benefits may be cut by 20% starting in 2035 due to funding shortfalls.
So Brian, real quick. So the third thing you mentioned, it'll improve calculations because right now the COLA is just based on the CPI. This would be
Right.
the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, which is a whole different thing.
Whole
Considering,
different ballgame.
like you said, prescriptions, medicals through the roof and
Yeah.
all that jazz. Okay, interesting. Here's the thing. If you're watching this, you need to push this legislation hard because no one is going to do this otherwise. They have no reason to move on this.
No.
And as we see in Congress do many times in the past few years, they want to kick the can.
Yep.
And the problem is they're going to kick the can right up to the last moment. So here's what you can do. You can send a message, you can call, you can email your representatives and your senators,
Yeah.
and tell them that you need and you deserve this increase of $200 a month, totaling that $2,400 annually.
Yeah, Michelle, it truly is the time that the richest Americans pay their fair share to fortify Social Security for all those who paid into it their whole careers.
Well, and it makes sense. I'm not a big fan of the whole, a lot of the narrative is if you tax the rich, then everything's going to be fine. But in this case, like, why is there a cap on how much?
Right. This could have been fixed a long time ago. In honesty, we've talked about this many times on our channel. All they had to do was raise that payroll tax cap.
Exactly.
and they could have shored this up for decades.
Sure. Nobody wants to do it, do they? Because then they're going to have to penalize their friends.
Right. And you can significantly boost your buying power just by supporting this act and by making those phone calls to your representatives.
Absolutely. And also forward this video to people you know, get them involved as well.
Definitely.
That's really the key. If everyone starts making phone calls, hopefully someone will do something.
If
Here's the
there's
thing.
any,
I'm
if there's
sorry.
any, excuse me, Michelle, if there's any bill that I've seen that I am in huge favor of,
Right.
it's this right here. But the problem is no one wants to touch the word Social Security today.
No, they don't,
Too
especially
political.
right before an election.
Right.
So, all right, on that note, like the content of this video if you found this helpful. Do not forget to subscribe. Brian and I are on top of any changes that are going on in Social Security. And also, we're going to drop a link to a video that we did on how to strategically leverage your Social Security COLA raise. Now, it might not have been that big this year, but there are some key things you can do to make that money go farther than you think. So go check that out.
Definitely.
Don't forget, call those representatives and those senators today. All right, Brian, thanks so much for this informative video. And as always, thank you to everyone who watched.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.